Assalamualaikum and hello everyone again. I am Dr. Arifin, the lecturer for this video, which is video 5 on text element. Bear in mind that text is one of multimedia elements, and today we are going to learn more about text. By the end of this video, we will be identifying the usage of text, we will be differentiating between typeface and font, and recognizing 3 categories of typeface and applying guidelines regarding text. Okay, text is very powerful. With typeface and fonts, the text can serve various purposes. Typeface and fonts are different. You have to understand this because they can serve better when you understand them. And next slide will cover the differences. Students, here are various ways text is used. We have plain text, in which we use it to explain things in paragraph. And also we have scrolling text. Scrolling text sometimes used in websites, in which you can see most websites use scrolling text as their announcement, something coming up, events, to broadcast events. So they use scrolling text because it can save space. Next, we also have navigational text. You have been using this in interaction systems and applications. It is used to navigate us from one point to another. Besides that, we have text as graphics and special effects. You have also used this across your applications, right? Okay, as a graphic text, you use blinking effects, glowing effects, and etc., etc., etc. to give certain kinds of attention grabbing. You want to attract, you want to grab your user's attention. So in this situation, we can use graphical text. Then we have bullet text. There are different purposes of using bullets. Number one is to show chronology, or we want to show sequence, or we want to show frequency of something. In this case, we can use bullet text. Right? Now, let us learn the typeface and fonts. They are different. Can you spot the differences? Have you heard of typeface and fonts? I'm sure you have. But for some people who have not actually come across these two terminologies, this is a little discussion about them. In this screen, we can see a list of options for the text. For example, Cambria, Calibri, Times New Roman, and everything. What do you call this? Good. So this is typeface. While for features like bold, italic, underline, this is called font. Right? They have different purposes. For typeface, there are something that we can use in certain situation. There are something that we are not advised to use in certain situation. And do you know that text can be categorized into serif and sans serif, and also decorative? So can you differentiate between them? Okay, some of you have got some idea, but some still need to develop the understanding. Okay, here in this slide, it shows you a paragraph in serif format, in serif category. What is serif? While in the right hand side, it is a paragraph in sans serif category. I'm sure you can see the difference. Or if you are still ambiguous about that one, this slide will make you understand better. The typeface on the left hand side is sans serif. You can see at the end of the vertex there is no decorative element. It is straight, it is very sharp. While the typeface on the right hand side has got a decorative end for the A. You can see that at the vertex there is something that decorates the font, the typeface. This is called sans serif. Sorry, I interchangeably explained that one. Actually, on the right hand side is serif, while on the left hand side is sans serif. Sans means no, no decoration. Serif means decoration. On the left hand side, no decoration, which is sans serif, and on the right hand side, it is with decoration called serif. Alright? So you have to be clear because they serve different purposes. Okay, now it's about decorative text, which is not suitable at all for conveying long text. If we use this decorative text to write in paragraph, you will make your users feel so headache with your writing because they have to put efforts in reading your text. Then only they can understand. So in designing, we say this an exercise. Alright? As a designer, you have to always eliminate exercise. Make your products easy as you can. Here are some examples of decorative text. They can be used as a start of a paragraph or in a specific purpose card or to show some emphasis in your paragraph or in your title, right? But not to explain something. Now, I want to share with you some tips for making text efficient, which is very important. Okay? So everyone can come up with text, but the question is whether the text help the users or not. Okay, number one, we have to use minimal text. We have to use minimal text so that our users will always follow us. Remember, people prefer more pictures, more illustration than text, because we have always heard that people say a picture worth 1,000 words, right? 1,000 words. When you have 1,000 words, you can represent that in an illustration. Then we have to mind our typefaces and fonts. Remember, just now we discussed about the typeface and fonts. For typeface, we have Calibri, we have Times New Roman, in which we have either serif or sans serif typefaces. For long paragraph, most users prefer to read using sans serif category. That is why nowadays people prefer typefaces like Tahoma, Calibri, and there are also, because we have been very used to Times New Roman, there are also people prefer Times New Roman. So you have to understand, as a designer, we have to understand what our users prefer. Okay? And if we are doing for presentation slides, mind the fonts, the font size, the minimum maybe 18 points, right? And in our paragraphs, we have to mind the fonts. For example, for the contents, preferably 12 points, while for the title is a little bigger, maybe 13 or 14 points. These are some of things that we have to consider when playing around with text. And also we have to mind the color and style, which is very important. If we do something colorful, mind the colors so that your users don't get bored, don't get confused. For example, if you use, especially on screen display, if you combine red and green, that will hurt your users' eyes. Remember again, you are designing for your users. You are not designing for you. While you are designing, you don't really see the screen. But your users, if they have to read, they have to spend hours on the computer screen. That is why selection of colors is very important. Similarly, if we design something on print, we have to decide the combination of colors so that it attracts attention. It also tells the users through colors which points to focus first and then which is next. So the point that we want our users to focus first must always be very bright, and in terms of text it has to be big. This is common. And also ensure consistency. Consistency is very important in terms of terminologies. For example, if in sentence number 1 we use computers, in sentence number 2 we also, in paragraph 2 or in the remaining, we have to also use computers. Never change it to something else. For example, a laptop or personal computer or something. So make it consistent, right? And we have to really be careful in selecting this and in deciding this. Right. I think I have discussed quite long about the tips, but this is not the only tips that you should be following. There are many more that you can consider. You'll be gathering more while you read, while you experience in designing yourself. Okay? So never stop reading. Okay, students, we have discussed a lot about text. Now, let us recap before we end the video what we have learned today. Basically, we have discussed about 6 usage of text. Text as scrolling text, navigational text, graphical text with special effects, bullet, paragraph, and plain text. And I would like to stress here that you use the text appropriately. Match with your users. That is very important. Typeface refers to types of writing, and fonts refers to the style of writing. We also have discussed about 3 categories of typefaces. Number 1 is serif, number 2 is sans serif, and decorative text. We have also discussed some tips in making your text efficient, such as use minimal text, use suitable typeface and fonts, and use suitable color, besides many more. Okay, students, I thank you very much for bearing with me, and I am happy to see you again in our next video.